Hi Internet, welcome back. It's me, Diana. Today is day 41 of my hormone replacement therapy, day 11 since I started estrogen. And so let's start with the physical update. Mm, Still not too much that is noticeable. But I would like to say something about my physical updates, so to speak. So this is a little bit embarrassing, and it's not something I like to talk about. But for the sake of being honest and everything, I'm gonna talk about it, honest and open. Um, so for me, it 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 bothers me when I get and an erection. It does bother me when I get one, and with the testosterone blocker, it's helped me a lot in the sense that I don't have that problem anymore. I mean, not as bad as it was before, and it feels great to not have to worry about that. Yeah, so okay, that's kind of a bit of a physical update right there. Um, well, maybe a little bit too much information. Um, yeah, okay. So, noticeable changes? One. That one. Okay, there's also two, which is the slower facial hair growth. Mm, yeah, and the increased sense of sensitivity to smell. Mm, Aside from those, I'd have to say that's it for now. Okay, so on to the talking point. Let's see. Today's talking point is it's about a story. It's about a story. It's about a story of how I volunteered for a charity group for 4 years. For 4 years. Um, I was volunteering for a charity group called, maybe I shouldn't name it. Anyways, it's a Christian charity group, and I volunteered there for 4 years every week, you know, pretty much every week. Rain or shine, holiday, Christmas, Easter, all of that, snowstorm. I went out with everybody and we handed out food and clothing to the homeless people in downtown. Mm, yeah, handed out things that they needed uh, every week. Collect food from grocery stores, bakeries, and then we give them out. Uh, we wrap things up, all of that stuff. And, all of that was great. I loved it. Uh, but then when it came time for me to come out to them, specifically the the one of the founders of the charity, when I told them that I'm transitioning, he was very rude. I specifically told him I was transitioning. I was going through a transition, and he kept referring to me as dressing in drag, in a sort of derogatory way. So it's insulting to me and people who dress in drag. So I I found that ridiculous, right? Somebody I've worked with for 4 years, for so long, and I volunteered, all my time there. And to hear that from him was really hurtful. Uh, I also went on to tell him about my sperm banking. Yes, I did do the fertility clinic thing where I freeze my sperm in in the hopes that maybe in the future I might use it. You know, I just want to have my options open. You know, to have my own sort of child one day. I do think about that, and it's in the future. Nobody knows. It's there if I need it, and if I don't, then I don't use it. That's all. So back to the story. He When I told him about this part of my transition, he got really offended, as as if the thought of me having a child while transitioning, or going through transition, was so offensive to him that he had to make this comment, which was, why bother? Why is Okay, so when I told him, this is what he said: why bother? Why why bother freezing your sperm? Why don't you just spit on it and throw it out? Those were his words. So, this there's a lot more drama behind this. I don't want to get into it, but let's just say he was super rude. He was. And he's said some really, really offensive things. But anyways, that's not the point. The point here is, at the next day, he told me he sent me a text. He said, "Why don't you retire from the mission?" And yeah, so I guess I did, but not because he said it so much as because I don't want to work. I don't want to volunteer in a place where I'm not welcome to be myself. And the story here today is supposed to tell people, you know, it's okay to move on. It's okay to move on to something else. And now I volunteer for Toronto Pride, or Pride Toronto. I'm a volunteer there. I am gonna be involved in some of the parades and stuff. Volunteering, still volunteering. Looks nice. Uh, but yeah, if I had stayed there, they I I was forced to dress as a guy there when in my transition. That was the only part of my week where I couldn't be myself, and it wasn't acceptable. And he was very rude, and basically he wasn't worth my time. He wasn't. Mm, it's sad that I can't help the people on the streets anymore, but it's not up to me. I did my best. I did my best, and yeah, I guess I don't know. I feel like, yeah, there was a lot more drama behind it. I don't want to get into too much details, but yeah. So, long story short, got kicked out of a group because of my transition, and found a new group to volunteer at. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy now. I'm happy to be myself every day and volunteer at a place where I'm welcomed. You know? Uh, I hope nobody has to go through the same thing I did. Mm, but I'm sure I'm not the only one. So I'd like to say they're not worth your time. Leave them. Find somewhere else that's better for you because you deserve it. Alright, guys. That's it for today. It's a little bit ranty. I'm sorry about that. Alright, take care. I'll see you guys next week. I think I'm setting the schedule for Monday and Thursday. That's gonna be my temporary schedule for now. Monday and Thursdays is when I'll make the videos. 2 videos a week. Let's go, guys. Alright, have a good day. See you Monday. Bye.